Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about self-doubt and confidence. Thank you very much for the returning subscribers. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So when it comes to self-doubt, many people, most people, if not all people, have some form of self-doubt. There is those who doubt themselves and don't do anything. There is those who doubt themselves and pull everybody else down, narcissistic people, and there is those who doubt themselves and do it anyway. And then there is confidence. There is people who are arrogant, who believe they are always right. There is people who are confident within their own ability and do their best to raise other people up. And then there are those people who have self-doubt, however, they are confident enough to go with what they think is right within that moment in time. And they are also confident enough to recognise that they've got something wrong or they've made a mistake and to learn from that mistake and go again anyway. When it comes to things like self-doubt and confidence, they are actually a good quality to have, because within self-doubt it shows that we have different perspectives, we have different viewpoints, we can question whether it's going to have a negative impact on someone we care about or on ourselves, and it can stop us doing things that perhaps we shouldn't be doing. However, it can also stop us doing the very things that we should be doing, usually for fear of making a mistake, for fear of coming across wrong, when all we need to do is just take ownership for our mistakes. When it comes to young children, babies, toddlers, learning how to walk, they might sit there and think, that's really not for me, but they don't. They get up and they learn how to do it. They might have doubts within their minds, but they keep going. And when they stumble and fall, when they have a bad day, when walking just doesn't seem to be working out for them, they get up the next day and they go again and again and again until they learn how to walk. And then they have the confidence within their ability, once they've learned how to do it, to just get up and walk without even thinking about it. So one of the main steps to get over self-doubt is to do it anyway and keep working at it, and then seeing what happens and then learning from it and going again and again and again to give yourself the confidence that what you would like out of life is possible. And it's okay to have passions, it's okay to have dreams, but you've got to work out what you want. Do you want happiness? What gives you that happiness? What gives you the drive to get out of bed? What gives you the drive that if you fail at something to go again? What gives you the pride when you do accomplish something? What gives you that doubt when you make a mistake? When you've got that doubt in your mind, what drives you to learn from that mistake, to go again, to get that accomplishment again? We can all stumble, we can all fall. We just have to find our reason why to get back up. And is that underlying reason your happiness? Whatever that underlying reason is for you. It's normal for people to have self-doubts. However, when they've been around narcissistic people, those people who have self-doubts, but instead of working on them internally, feel a need to pull other people down and create more self-doubt within those they claim to care about. It's normal to come away with even more self-doubt. When you've continually been told by a narcissist that you're not good enough, you're not capable, you're too sensitive, you're insecure, you're overthinking things, you're wrong, your opinion's invalid, what you would like to do isn't right, you're not capable of doing those things. Most people will be left with extreme self-doubt because it's not only their own self-doubts, they've been told by the very people who claim to care about them, which you then assume want the best for you. You've been told by those people that you're not good enough. So not only do you not feel good enough within yourself, you also fear what other people will think of you. And for many people, once they've learned about the narcissist personality disorder or they've learned about narcissism, they then fear creating that confidence within themselves. They fear validating themselves because they fear they might turn into a narcissist. And there is a vast difference. A narcissist actually has self-doubt and they pull other people down in order to feel better about themselves. You're going to overcome, well, not overcome self-doubt, it's always going to be there. You're going to recognise that self-doubt and do it anyway and be proud of who you are as a person, to find your happiness, to raise other people up and walk away from people who want to bring you down. Narcissistic people go around pulling others down to feel better about themselves, being confident in your abilities, being proud of your achievements, and helping other people up is a good quality to have. Narcissistic people try to sabotage others, to create that competition, to get that quick fix. Working hard to achieve something is not narcissistic. With good intentions, there is no wrong way or right way to live your life. It's your life. There is only your way. There's the imposter syndrome, where people can feel like we shouldn't be doing something, or we shouldn't be proud of our achievements, or that you're not a good person, or an unwillingness to accept the progress you've made because of an irrational fear that you don't deserve it. When we all have to start somewhere, we all have to learn from somewhere, and we're all learning from other people's mistakes that they've made in the past. We're all learning from other people's perspectives, other people's opinions, and then putting our own twists on it, recognising when we get some data wrong, whether that data was right 10 years ago, learning new data, realising that perhaps we weren't quite right then, because now this has come to light, and then running with it, because the sooner you overcome that self-doubt and run with it, the sooner you will recognise whether you were right or whether you were wrong. And once you've recognised whether you were right, keep going. Once you've recognised you were wrong, take a step back, reevaluate, change your approach, change your opinion, change your perspective, and go again. The most confident people out there, to me personally, are people who are willing to have self-doubt and do it anyway. And those who are willing to recognise their own mistakes and go again. With imposter syndrome, you might feel like an imposter when you've achieved something and somebody else compliments you, especially when all you've been used to is people pulling you down. You might think that people think you know more than you know, and this isn't true. People know what they know, and everybody has their own skill set. Everybody has their own unique bit of knowledge to give to the world. Just because it doesn't match somebody else's doesn't necessarily make it wrong or right, so long as it's not done to harm somebody else. If you say something with good intentions and somebody takes that the wrong way, that is on the other person. If you say something with toxic intentions, if you say something with negative intentions and that has a detrimental effect on the other person, that is on you, which is what narcissistic people do. They go out to bring other people down and blame that person, when no, it's on the narcissist for bringing other people down. Saying something with good intentions that somebody takes the wrong way, most people will try to explain themselves to that person because they didn't want them to take it the wrong way. However, it's on that person to work through what they took the wrong way. With a narcissist, it's on the narcissist for trying to devalue other people. With self-doubt, it is that annoying little voice within your mind when you really want to do something and then you start questioning yourself, overanalyzing, ruminating, wondering what the best approach is, not knowing where to start, and it can become obsessive and it can stop you from finding your happiness. Self-doubt can also be somebody else's voice within your mind, those seeds that somebody else planted there because they didn't want you to succeed. So when it comes to your own self-doubt, you've got to get up and do it anyway. And then once you've achieved something, recognize your achievement, recognize that you've worked hard for it, and be proud of yourself. If you make a mistake, recognize the mistake, learn from it, and be proud of yourself. When you get knocked down, get up and go again. When it comes to self-doubt that other people have planted within our minds, that is something we need a different approach to work through, to recognize that it's not our self-doubts, that's what somebody else put there to sabotage us because they didn't feel good enough within themselves, not because we're not good enough. So number one, remember that self-doubt is just that irritating little voice within your mind, and you can control how you want your mind to think. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes practice, just like learning how to walk. We might stumble, we might fall, but we can control how we want our minds to think. Often with self-doubt, if it's what somebody else has placed there, we've got to start writing it out to recognise who told us that we couldn't do something, and then do it anyway to prove to ourselves that we can. Recognising that they told you that because they have their own insecurities, and their insecurities are not your responsibility. You can only help those who are willing to help themselves. You cannot help those who are willing to bring other people down to feel better about themselves. 2, write all those self-doubts down. Write each and every one down, and then read them back to yourself as though it's somebody you truly care about, who you want the best for, talking to themselves in that way. What advice would you be telling that person? If someone came to you and said, I can't do that, what would you be telling them? How would you be raising them up? And start speaking to yourself in that same way. You have to become your own best friend, because at the end of the day, the person who will always be there for you is you. We can have all the help and the support in the world. However, it's down to us to take that advice, implement that advice, and work on that advice, and throw out advice that does not work for us. A bit like in sport, where you have a coach, or life coaches, you have a coach. Their job isn't, a football coach isn't to go out and play football for you. The coach is to train you to have the right mindset, to have the right skill set. You've got to put the practice in, you've got to put the time and effort in to be able to go out there and play football. If you want to learn to play the piano, you have a teacher. The teacher isn't going to do it for you. They're going to teach you the strategies to learn how to play that piano, and you have got to learn. You've got to put the hours in, the practice in to do it for yourself. You've got to find the teacher that resonates with you, that helps you, that supports you to do it for yourself. 3, talk to people who you can trust. Talk to those who want to raise you up. Talk to those who can see different perspectives, and none of that where they just come at you and say, oh, the truth hurts, because they want to hurt you. when people are coming at you with that, it's not that the truth hurts, it's that their opinion hurts. And their opinion might necessarily not be for you. So talk to people who are willing to see different perspectives. 4, stop yourself. Recognising when that self-doubt is creeping into your mind, and you can think, oh, what's this doubt about? What perspectives am I looking into? What am I going to harm by doing it? Nothing. I might make a little mistake and then I just have to learn from that mistake. So I'm going to do it anyway, because at this present moment in time, I believe it's the right thing to do. And the sooner I do it, the sooner I will realise whether it was right or wrong. And if it was wrong, I will know how to change, to learn to change my approach and go again. 5, stop comparing yourself to others. You are only in a competition with yourself. You are only there to be better than you were yesterday. You're not living somebody else's life. You don't know what somebody else has been through. You don't know what work somebody else is putting in. You don't know what time scale they've got. Do not compare yourself with other people. You are not them. You are you. Compare yourself to the person you were yesterday, and then go again. 6, keep a record of things you have achieved. Keep a record of things you have overcome. Keep a record of things you have done. Recognising your accomplishments, recognising your capabilities. Sometimes we have to stop and look at how far we've come and not how far we've got to go. We all have to start somewhere, and if we don't start, we're not going to get anywhere. If you sit in a car, even if you pass your driving test, if you sit in a car and think, oh, I don't do this, you're never going to do it. You're never going to go anywhere. You've got to think, oh, I'm a little bit nervous, but it'll turn it on and I'm going to go anyway. And the same as having an idea of what gives you a passion. What would you like? What feeling are you looking for in life, and what gives you that feeling? The sat-nav example. If you are going on a journey and you don't know where you're going, so you don't put it in, you're just going to be driving around and round and round. If you have some idea, you can put a postcode into that sat-nav and it's going to get you there. And the roads might be bendy. You might take a wrong turn and have to double back, but at some point you will get there, so long as you know your reason why. What feeling are you looking for, and what are you passionate in your life? What do you enjoy talking about? What drives you? And that is something that you have to discover for yourself. 7, if someone's giving you constructive criticism, you can listen and see whether you can do something about it. If someone's talking badly to you or about you, if someone's trying to pull you down, if someone's being negative, if someone's trying to shame you, tell you you can't do it, recognise that's on them. That's who they are. They're not the kind of people you want to be around, because they don't want to see you succeed for whatever insecurities they have. And don't take it personally. Observe it's who they are. If you can, pay them a compliment and then move on. Give them a little self-esteem boost and then move on, because more often than not, if you give them a self-esteem boost, they're going to try and pull you down again. That's who they are. You can't change them. They have got to be willing to recognise their own behaviour, empathise with other people and change themselves for themselves. 8, surround yourself with people who want to lift you up, with people who encourage you, with people who support you as you do them. Listen to motivational videos, meditation, yoga, positive music. Listen to whatever gives you the boost. We all have down moments. It's finding the coping mechanisms that help boost us back up. 9, remember, setbacks are temporary for us to learn from. Sometimes we can be on a roll and sometimes we can be rolling backwards, and we just have to stop ourselves from rolling backwards and go again. Thomas A. Edison quote when he invented the light bulb: "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways it doesn't work." Many people fail in life because they don't realise how close they were to success. They gave up thinking this is too difficult, this isn't for me. They didn't realise that if they just kept going, we have to learn, we have trial and error, we have to recognise where we went wrong so that we can go right. Setbacks happen in life. They're not to hold you back, they're to drive you forward. 10, stop beating yourself up. Learn to recognise the negative self-talk and shift it back out. Tell yourself you're not talking to yourself that way anymore because you wouldn't talk to somebody you care about in that way. You're going to give yourself the encouragement that you would give somebody you care for. 11, when you make a small step or a big step, recognise that you've taken that step and go again. Remember, if something doesn't go to plan in life, sometimes it might mean that that plan was not for you. If it brought you constant pain, if it brought you constant doubts, if it brought you constant stress, then it's time to recognise, do I need to continue with this? Is this going to bring me happiness? If it is going to bring you happiness, step over those self-doubts and go again. If it isn't going to bring you happiness, find another path. But this is when it's on you. When other people are bringing you pain, the self-doubt isn't there to get you to change to suit them. The self-doubt is there because they are bringing you pain and it's time to step away from them. When it's your achievements, when you're learning to do something, those self-doubts and those painful moments are there to drive you to get up and go again. If anyone has any advice on how they overcame their self-doubts, please do add that into the comments, as you never know who's listening that it might help. Thank you very much for listening, and go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. I shall link the video of limiting beliefs into the description because that ties into self-doubt. Bye.